there's a bit of a problem with the crypto space. Everyone's closely watching the Bitcoin dominance ratio. This dropped from 66% to about 58%, an initial sign of money rotating into the altcoin market. People are already celebrating that altcoins are finally about to run. But is this actually telling us that the rotation is happening right now? Well, Bitcoin dominance is a great tool, and it's commonly used to understand market dominance. But this is only telling us half of the story. And if you take some time to study the other side, you might be surprised with what you find. Let's start with the facts. Bitcoin dominance ratio has been steadily declining over the past few months. And sure, that looks like the classic setup for alt season, the kind of rotation we've all been waiting for. But we've seen this rotation happen before, and each time there was a steep drop in Bitcoin dominance to signal a true bull run. If you look at what happened in 2021, the steepest drop took place near the start of 2021. Let's choose 50% as a point of interest, because this is when Bitcoin loses its dominance over the altcoin market. From the point when it dropped under 50%, it took roughly 7 months for the crypto market to reach its peak. So there was this period of time where projects and tokens continued to grow and push up the charts. As of now, we're still well above the 50% mark. So Bitcoin remains dominant in the market, and although there's a pullback right now, it's not truly a major shift. So what's really going on? Well, that's where understanding the full picture of market dominance comes into play. And it requires looking beyond just Bitcoin's share of the total market cap. One way to do that is to study how altcoins are actually performing against Bitcoin itself. The relationships that really matter. The metrics that show whether we're on the verge of a true altcoin explosion or if we're still waiting for the real show to begin. I took some time to study altcoin behavior, and I'm going to share what I found in today's video. I'll discuss what the data is actually revealing about altcoins and whether or not an altcoin season is right around the corner. So stay tuned. Now, if you're serious about navigating this market and taking advantage of opportunities as they come up, you need to have reliable trading platforms ready to go. WEEX has been one of my go-to exchanges. The platform is fast, fees are extremely low, and I can get positioned quickly when the charts are showing me clear signals. If you use the link in the description, you'll get 30% off those already low trading fees, plus a chance to unlock up to 30,000 USDT in bonuses. It's free to sign up, so it doesn't hurt to test it out. And when it comes to staying on top of market shifts and altcoin rotations in real time, the FireHustle Discord has been a game changer. We've got a community that's constantly analyzing market patterns, sharing insights on altcoins, and helping each other spot opportunities before they become obvious to everyone else. Link is in the description if you want to join the discussion. As always, none of what I share is financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research before making any financial decisions. Now, hit those like and subscribe buttons, turn on post notifications, and let's get started. So let me be clear about something. I'm not saying Bitcoin dominance is a bad indicator. It's actually one of the most reliable tools we have for understanding macro market trends. But the problem is that most people treat it like it's the only indicator that they need to watch. And that's where we're making a mistake. Here's what Bitcoin dominance actually tells us. When it's declining, it means the total market cap of altcoins is growing faster than Bitcoin's market cap. That's it. But there's a massive difference between dominance decline and actual altcoin strength. If Bitcoin stays flat while a handful of large cap altcoins pump, dominance drops. But that doesn't mean we're in a true altcoin season where hundreds of projects are running. What we're seeing right now is exactly this scenario. Bitcoin dominance dropped from 66% to 58%, mostly because a few major altcoins like Ethereum and XRP had strong moves. The majority of altcoins are still struggling and down very significantly from their previous cycle highs. That's why we need to look at how individual altcoins are performing directly against Bitcoin. When altcoins start consistently outperforming Bitcoin on their individual charts, that's when you know a real rotation is taking place. If you want to understand whether we're actually entering altcoin season, there's one chart you need to watch above all others: the ETH BTC pair. Ethereum is the second largest crypto asset and represents the entire altcoin ecosystem. It's the backbone of DeFi, decentralized apps, and most crypto innovations. When institutions want altcoin exposure, Ethereum is the first choice. And we're already seeing this happen with several major companies building their ETH treasuries. So ETH BTC isn't just another trading pair, This is the ultimate test for altcoin dominance. When Ethereum starts significantly outperforming Bitcoin, it signals that the market is ready to rotate into altcoins across the board. Looking at this chart tells us the entire story of crypto cycles. In 2017, ETH BTC exploded from around 0.01 to over 0.15. This is a 15x gain in strength for Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. And this coincided with one of the most explosive altcoin seasons ever. In 2021, we saw another significant rally, but it wasn't as dramatic. At this point, there were a lot more altcoins around, so Ethereum could only take over so much of the market share. But the fact still stands. Ethereum gained significant strength during this time, and this ultimately led to the market peak. But here's what's happening right now. After trending down for years, ETH BTC is starting to pick up momentum with Ethereum's recent price push. If this continues to move higher, then Ethereum will be taking over more market share from Bitcoin. And as the altcoin leader, this would be a major signal that alt season is beginning to take shape. If you place Bitcoin dominance on the same chart, you can see that these lines basically swapped positions, leading to the biggest push in 2021. And right now, they're approaching each other again. A crossover would be one confirmation of a full rotation. Now, while Ethereum is an obvious asset to look at, there's another pair that's becoming equally important for understanding the cycle: Sol BTC. Solana represents the new generation of layer 1 blockchains, and this is now one of the most established ecosystems in all of crypto. Solana even managed to surpass Ethereum in many ways, like daily activity, on-chain revenue, and DEX volumes, especially during the whole Solana season near the end of 2024. Now, Solana's performance against Bitcoin gives us insight into whether newer ecosystems are getting market share, and this chart is saying a lot. Similar to the ETH BTC chart, there was a massive push-up during the 2021 bull run. But unlike Ethereum, the biggest portion of this jump happened a little later in the run. And that represents Solana's smaller market cap at the time. It was still a relatively new project and it grew rapidly during the last cycle. Now, the interesting thing about this chart is this explosive move near the end of 2024. Sol BTC rallied up almost 4x against Bitcoin in just a few months. This wasn't driven by broad altcoin season dynamics. Clearly, Bitcoin dominance was still on the rise. This was specific to Solana's ecosystem exploding with meme coin activity, massive DEX volumes, and institutional intention. Solana had its own mini bull market while most other altcoins remained quiet. And I'm sure many of you remember living through that. Now, after the explosive run, Solana lost some of that strength while Bitcoin pushed to record highs. It's clear that the market leader was showing its dominance. And what we're seeing right now is another move up. If this continues alongside Ethereum's push, this is another confirmation of a rotation into altcoins. But here's what makes this cycle different. Altcoins aren't just speculative tokens anymore. We now have Ethereum ETFs along with a list of other altcoin spot ETFs in the approval pipeline. Institutional treasuries are slowly accumulating large amounts of different major altcoins. Corporations are now making use of DeFi protocols for their operations, and policy changes are now laying the foundation for altcoins to be incorporated into everyday life. This was one of the major goals for the crypto space. Most importantly, these projects are building real products that compete directly with traditional finance. Tokenized treasuries, billion-dollar lending protocols, and cross-chain infrastructure that corporations actually use. This creates a demand floor that previous cycles never had, and I expect this to impact how the rest of the cycle will play out. So here's what it comes down to. We all want the markets to continue pushing higher. It's what we believe will happen in a typical cycle. But this is the most unique cycle so far, especially with how much crypto is overlapping with real-world finance. And yes, I get it. When the market goes through shaky red days and headlines starting to go into panic mode, there's a lot of uncertainty. But having the right indicators in your pocket helps paint a bigger picture of the market. This is all leading to a major shift, and I don't think we've seen it just yet. Of course, there are a lot more tools and metrics you can use to assess the crypto market. And if you're interested in gaining more insights, definitely check out the FireHustle Discord group. Again, link is in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, then smash that like button and subscribe for more content like this. As always, none of what I share is financial advice. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.